Hello, everyone. First, I want to thank the police for organizing this event and, fundamentally, for risking their lives daily to take care of Argentines. I am very sorry for the years of scans to those who were subjected to make, perhaps, one of the most honorable things that a human being can do, which is to be willing to give life for another. It is an honor, for me, being here delivering these distinctions with which we reward 17 outstanding troops of our Argentine Federal Police for its courage and merit. An undoubtedly deserved recognition for each one. Among them, I want to highlight the Deputy Commissioner Guillermo Armentano, a member of the presidential custody, who, in the exercise of duty, during the presidential assumption was attacked, vilely, by an unbalance that launched a projectile in the direction of the presidential delegation. I also want to highlight that, despite having received the impact, he continued with his duty, guaranteeing the correct deployment of the operation without hesitation. Thank you very much, Guillermo. I hope your honor serves as an example, for a long time, we live in a country which denied its security force. Even doctrines were elaborated to defend criminals, through argumentative deslates, which did nothing more than hide the truth. Nietzsche referred to these types of people saying that their waters cloud to make it look deep. They understood criminals as a victim of their own history, their circumstances, and, in doing so, unprotected society, and turned their backs on our police forces. They arrived, even, to the absurdity of releasing prisoners or punishing honorable police for the unforgivable crime of doing their job well. Well, they passed 2 decades defending the indefensible and trying to make us believe that criminals were victims and our security force were the perpetrators. For years, they told us that they led to guarantee, hiding in the notion of protecting constitutional guarantees, to promote what, clearly, was nothing other than abolitionism. This is not, no more, or less, to abandon the basic reason of the existence of the state. Those who said they defended the state forbidden to exercise its main responsibility, which is to suppress the crime. It is not necessary to clarify what my philosophical position on the state is, because I think it has already been clear, but in any version of modern state, of real life, the monopoly of the force and repression of crime are indeligible public responsibilities. However, due to the penetration of the left of the institutions, the universities, the police, business leadership and the media, slowly, were abandoning this indeligible function of the state until they turned our country into a bloodbath. But society told them, enough, we are fulfilling, with the commitment we assume with society and calling things again by name. That is why our security doctrine is simple and mounted on 3 fundamental pillars, that any Argentine, of good, shares. The pillar number 1, he who makes them pays them, that is, the crime must always be punished, so simple, within the law, everything. Out of the law, nothing. Pilar number 2, public order is sacred. You cannot kidnap the street and ruin all Argentines. Therefore, we barely assume, we said that the one that cuts does not charge. And well that we fulfill, the pickets are made of the past. Pilar number 3. The good ones are those of blue, the bad ones are the ones who commit crimes, those who steal, those who kill. The state has to protect the victims and punish the perpetrators. Do not protect the perpetrators and abandon the victims. How we could ask a 20-year-old cadet to risk his life for his countrymen, if we do not agree on this elementary truth of life in society. We have applied these 3 pillars and we are taking a turn 180 degrees, how the role of the security force in society is understood in how we treat them. This is supported by our vision of what a state has to do, which is to protect the life, freedom and property of citizens. Thanks to this change of course we are seeing surprising results. I give 2 examples. The first already mentioned is that we end the pickets. The second, and even more relevant, is all that has been achieved, in Rosario, with the courage of Minister Dr. Patricia Bullrich. Both are things that, before assuming, they said it was impossible in what we are doing. Obviously all this is possible thanks to you, the true heroes of this story, who put your chest and risk their lives every day to fulfill your duty. This is why, beyond individual recognitions, I would also like to congratulate them and ask for a great applause for all the men and women that make up the federal police and the other forces of the national level. I hope your bravery is the spark that inspires many. I want to make a last point before closing. You have to understand one thing. Public security is indispensable for the recovery of our country, because who can go to work every day at dawn if the street is insecure? Who is encouraged to risk capital and put a business if, from politics, reply that they have no interest in chasing crime? Or worse, how can there be economic growth if they can take away the fruit of our work without any penalty? And going to a deeper level, how can there be confidence among us, the Argentines, if we do not trust the forces that take care of us? For the police to do their job as well as possible, it needs to be supported by the government, because a police officer does not take place for doubt when he has to decide between life or death in thousandths of seconds if the duty calls. If this is what we ask for them, then we cannot doubt them either. However, Carranco's politicians, with private security, instead of supporting them in the performance of their functions, decide to make them parade through the streets, television to stir their own political flags. In New Argentina there is no place for such degeneration, because we understand that the laws are what men separate from the beasts, and that is why the laws are to be fulfilled. 11 months ago we decided to say no to the barbaric guarantee, which only brings misery, to tell yes to the civic order, which guarantees development, and we are willing to die in this hill. In short, I want to congratulate you all. Thank you very much for your service. May God bless all Argentines, and that the strength of heaven accompany us. Long live freedom, damn it. Thank you so much.